Hey guys, it's Marceau. Welcome back to my channel where I review horror books with a supernatural focus. In today's video, we have a new episode of indie horror. These are books and novellas and collections that have been submitted by independent authors who are either self-published or they are published with an independent printing press. All of the books that we'll be talking about today will have links in the description, so if you want to pick one of these up, it will definitely make the author's day, and be sure to follow their social media as well. A few days ago, I made two videos. One was for how to break the spine of a book without breaking the spine of the book, and another one was how to remove stickers from your books without, leaving any damage behind, which is something I've always encountered. No matter what I did with the sticker, there was always like either gouges from like my fingernails trying to get the sticker, or it would pull up some of the printed part of the cover, and it's always a bummer when that happens. So I shared those on Instagram and TikTok if you want to check them out. Just a real quick shout out to Drag17 for the tip on removing stickers on books. It was great, it worked. I have some other tips that people gave me on here that I'm going to also share, just to see how well it works for me and just kind of to document it and share so if it's helpful for anyone else. So if you have like a cool book tip on how to either keep the condition of your book looking great, or how to make some kind of accessory that makes reading easier or anything like that, let me know down in the comments and I will test it out in my laboratory. Before we jump into the episode, be sure to like and subscribe. So the very first one is the patrons pick, and what this is I send 3 or 4 synopses to the patrons and I have them pick which one they think sounds the best. But there's no title, there's no author, so they don't know who it's by or anything like that. So they just pick the one that sounds the best. And the one with the most votes was The Brother's Curse by Christine M. Germain. But this one's really cool. So let me tell you first her little tidbit that she wrote about just something extra about her story you should know. And this is a paranormal story, but it says here that this book was originally written when she was 12 years old in 1993, and that she got this idea from watching Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. That's really cool, like 12 years old, oh my god. That is so awesome. So she doesn't say that she's been working on it since then, but maybe she found it and was like, you know what, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Let me, just flesh it out and do something with it. So let me tell you what this is about. So this story is about a woman named Crystal who has moved back home. She's went back to her small, tiny, eerie town of Lakeview Falls because her parents had passed away, but it doesn't sound like it was, they just passed in their sleep. It sounds like it was a really brutal death, but not sure on like what that was, but it was definitely brutal. And as Crystal is living there, her neighbors go on vacation or something, and there's this really attractive, charming guy who comes in to watch the house while they're gone. Crystal ends up falling for this guy pretty hard, and it's pretty instant too. It's like just like love at first sight, I guess. 2 weeks before her 25th birthday, she ends up receiving a package which has a necklace inside of it. It's an antique amethyst necklace that once belonged to her mother. But this necklace has a very dark past. Whoever wears it will suffer the consequences. And for Crystal, when she puts this necklace on, her and her friends become the targets for 2 sadistic, tyrannical, evil 18th century shape-shifting brothers. And they want this necklace, which is called the Chariot Stone, which holds 24 demonic shapeshifters captive, but also Crystal's father. Meanwhile, there are young men that are going missing in the town. Their bodies are being found, eaten, or skinned alive. It doesn't take Crystal very long to put 2 and 2 together and realize that the new guy in town isn't exactly who he claims to be. So this sounds really cool. I like this idea of these like 18th century shape-shifting brothers. That just You know, it just sounds like my aesthetic, totally into that. And, you know, there's a necklace and it has a history. Always, always up for that. And I think the other fun part of this story too is like watching Crystal sort of figure out, you know, what's going on with his neighbor, who he really is and why he's there. It also sounds like it's probably going to be a little steamy. So if you like your paranormal with a little bit of steam, I think this is going to be perfect. The next book is called the Palimpsest. I'm not sure if I said that right. This is a very tongue-twisty word for me to say, but it is a collection of contemporary horror. It is a debut novel, and this is by Caitlin Marceau. Congratulations on your debut. This features body horror and psychological horror. This is also a Canadian writer. There are horror stories and poetry, with things ranging from quietly unnerving to the deeply disturbing, taking in post-apocalyptic futures, supernatural forces, psychological terrors, and deals with the devil. One thing's for certain, these stories will linger in your mind for long after you've read them. Our third book is called Haunted and Hungry. It's by AJ Spencer. This is a comedic horror / paranormal book. I love comedic horror. I mean, I don't love all of it, but you know, there's a lot of it that I really like. This collection was also selected as one of the Read Freely's top 50 indie releases of 2021. Congratulations. But anyway, these stories feature things like a mortician comes face to face with a nightmare. A man finally goes outside and has an unusual experience. An abandoned train station holds a dangerous secret. A crash diet goes horribly wrong. A man finally fulfills his dream of owning an amusement park and encounters something sinister from its past. Ooh, I really like that one. Experience these 5 short tales of vengeful spirits, hungry creatures, and bizarre entities. I like how they wrote out like a sentence for each story. In old vintage books, I noticed that some of them used to have like a little line or two like underneath the title, so you could kind of know what the story was about. And I really, really like that because it does give me a little bit more incentive to, you know, want to read the story to find out more. And their last one is called The Triangle, The Rise Trilogy. This is also a debut. This is by Robert P. Ottone. This is cosmic horror. It's a young adult. So this takes place somewhere in the future. It might not be the far distant future. It is a place where sea levels have risen and have pretty much almost decimated most of life on Earth. Born with a gift for engineering and technology, Aislinn and her father Meryl spend their days running a small shop in the flotilla community of Coral Cove. That sounds so nice, Coral Cove. It sounds very calm and gentle. They scavenge shipwrecks, sunken vessels, and what precious little remains of the world before the planet drowned. With her best friend Ellis, they do their best to support their community while struggling to survive. When a group of scouts sent by the Order, a mysterious and powerful northeastern cabal, goes missing in the nearby Bermuda Triangle. Meryl is tasked with finding them, and unbeknownst, that word sounds so weird now. Unbeknownst to him, Aislinn and Ellis have snuck aboard to join in on the mission to find out what lurks within the triangle. The ancient cosmic truths they discover may be more terrifying than they ever imagined. It sounds like it could be like pretty chill, right? You're like in Coral Cove. You work on outdated machinery. It seems pretty nice, actually. I mean, at least in the sense it sounds a bit peaceful. But then something happens and the Bermuda Triangle starts acting up, so these sounds really good. I think like my favorite out of all of them for myself here is Haunted and Hungry, because I like things like abandoned train stations and also amusement parks having like some kind of dark and sinister past. Like I really, 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 really love that type of stuff. It's just like so fun. I really also like The Brothers Curse. I think everything in there sounds really fun, and I like this concept of, you know, the shapeshifters and stuff. So anyway, those were the 4 books for this episode. I hope you found something here that you like and would love to take a chance on. Again, the links are going to be down in the description box. Pick them up, give them a read, let us know what you think. Other than that, please take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and I will talk to you next time.